Good morning, I'm Miranda Anderson. I'm a clinical nurse educator. I will be teaching you today how to use the Sara Plus. Sara Plus, also known by some, if you work somewhere else, as a sit-to-stand. So some of the features with the Sara Plus is that you do have an on and off button here in the back, so you always want to make sure that it is turned on when you're going to use it. You also have a battery here, so batteries are changed from 7A to 7P, so it should say days if you're working 7A to 7P, and it should say nights if you're 7P to 7A. Those are changed usually by the roving clerks. Some of the features on the Sara Plus. Sara Plus, back here, it has a weight limit of 420 pounds, so that will show you there if you would forget what the weight limit is. I can also obtain my patient's weight back here if I wanted to, so you have that function to use while you're using the Sara Plus. I have the ability to stand my patient up or lower my patient, and then to wide and lower my legs on the device. So that is also what you'll see on the handle that you're going to be using, is I can raise them up, lower them, or widen the legs on the device or make them more narrow. A couple other features with the Sara Plus. Sara Plus, when I go to put my patient's feet on here, I would want to make sure that this rests right below their knee. So there is a handle back here that you can just loosen to raise or lower that depending on the height of your patient. Sometimes when therapy is also working with the patients on these, maybe somebody who's had a stroke and they're wanting them to work on walking, they may remove the footboard and you just may be using it for an upper body support. But usually on the nursing inpatient areas, if we're using them, we keep the footboard on. As far as the slings go, the slings for the Sara Plus are reusable, so you will want to wipe these down with the approved cleaning solutions for the length of time that's required. So these are going to be wiped down, reused, and they should be kept on a hook somewhere near where the Sara Plus is located on your department. When you go to put these on, the handles will determine the size that you have. So green is large. There is a color wheel on the device that will guide you as far as what the different colors mean and represent which size. When you go to put the device on, this is the first thing that I usually put on before I ever take the device up to the patients. You want the words Arjo to be upright to know that you're going the right direction. So I'm going to come around and put this on my patient. So you're going to put it on and then you're going to tighten it. You want it to be fairly tight because when they stand up, gravity will occur and you may have to tighten it even more when you go to put it on. This device is really good. You can use this to move a patient from the bed to the chair. If you get a patient in the chair that maybe you walk them over and you can't get them out of the chair, this is a great device to get that patient out of the chair. You do want to make sure your bed is in the lowest position. And so then I can widen my legs of the device to get around anything under the bed. And then I'm going to push the device forward until their feet rest on the device. So I'm going to then lock it. At this point, I'm going to connect the sling that they're wearing to the device. This is probably the trickiest part. In order to move the portion that has to connect, if you raise the one that has the black ball on it, that will loosen it so that you are able to have more string. Okay? So then at this point, I'm just going to take the gray end and I'm going to wrap it through the loop on the side of the sling, and then this just rests right into it, and then you can make it tight. You're going to lift up the one with the black ball, bring them forward and tighten it. You'll just have them rest their arms here and then they can hold on to the handle. The point of this device, the patient should be able to bear weight on their lower extremities. So when they stand, they're standing in an upright position and they're not leaning back. So at this point, I can go ahead and raise my patient by hitting the up arrow, and the device will raise them up. You want them to be standing up as straight as possible. When you get them into that upright position, if you have somebody that's petite, make sure that they're not on their tippy toes. And then at this point, I can unlock it and I can move my patient to wherever they would be going, whether that would be the chair, into the restroom, or down the hall, okay? So then once we are done, we're going to take them back to their location. I'm going to lower them slowly. And at this point, then to unhook them from the sling, the end with the black ball you're going to raise to loosen the string. The easiest way to do this, I find, is to kind of pull it back, and then you can just push this gray knob forward and it'll come right out. So then at this point, I can move back the device, and I can unhook the sling from them. So that is how you utilize and use the Sara Plus. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We do have TMC coaches, which are transfer and mobility coaches throughout the organization. You should have some on the department in which you work. So feel free to ask one of them for assistance, or you can also check with a clinical educator to see if they can assist you if you need some guidance on using the device.